Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, and welcome back to a re-repair. What do I mean by that? We had this car once before, and now we've got it again. Let me show you why. Remember this car that we did last year in 2024? Well, that car is not back. That car is sold to someone I work with for his wife. Her car was this one. This was the Part X. This was what I called, very unimaginatively, Project Part X. And this car is now back. Let me show you why. Hopefully, this is only going to be one video. I hope. I'm going to be starting this in a couple of days' time, and I'm hoping I can get it all done in one video and in one day. Let's go. Let's show you what we got and what we've got to do. So yes, Project Part X, 13 plate, 1.2 lounge, decent mileage I think it was, can't remember, 60 something maybe, something like that, can't remember. That wasn't there before, so I'm not repairing that, that wasn't even mentioned to me. So what's happened with this? Well, it's had an argument with a van. I won't take all the plastic off of the roof, I'll show you that when I start the car, but this is it. So this door, not only has been peeled back just there, it's sticking out like that. You can actually see the bottom of the door. How that glass didn't pop, I do not know, but it didn't. So the door is obviously completely destroyed. The wing mirror glass is all right, top bit's all right, but that's all broken. So we've got a new one of those. We've got a new door, new mirror, and we've got a new wing. The wing is all dented, excuse the wind. And we got a slice in there. Excuse this wind, you probably can't hear me. I have a new door, which has got the wrong door handle on. So we will be changing door handles. Door handle's fine, it hasn't been touched. We have a new mirror in colour. And we have over here, excuse the darkness, a wing. And that's what we're going to do. However, as soon as I got the car, because I said to her, I will let, hopefully, it's difficult to tell, I said, but hopefully the door hinges are not bent. As soon as she brought the car over yesterday, I could see not only are those hinges bent, but it's indented the A-pillar. Now I have had that on a car before, I know exactly what I've got to do. So that hinge there, that hinge is bolted in from this side, as you can see there, but that is bolted in from the other side. Now on this passenger side, there is a chunk of metal in the way underneath the parcel shelf. So the parcel shelf has to come out and you have to drill a big hole in the side of that chunk of metal to get a socket on the end of it to be able to take that hinge off. Real pain in the backside. I think the bottom one is probably okay, probably. Difficult to tell. But I'm probably going to change both anyway, because that one's easier to get to. We just get the kick panel off and you can get to it through a hole, so that's fine. We're not going to know how bad it is until we get it off, but what we'll have to do is what I've done before. You heat this up. Once you've got this off, you heat this area up, and when you've got the socket off, you've got the hole in there, you get your socket extension bar on there and you smack it with a club hammer. And you push this out as much as you can. And then what you have to do is shim it. So I've got some metal that I can use to make some shims up if necessary. Now the problem with this is, as you know, getting these doors on, especially when they've got everything on them, it's quite difficult. I've never been, I think once or twice I've managed to get it done on my own, but generally it's really difficult to do, and I normally get my daughter to help me. Now I'm doing this on Wednesday, my daughter won't be here, she'll be at work. My wife will be, but you know, she'll be working from home as well. So I think this door is going to have to come on and off, on and off, on and off until I get it in the right position. So hopefully I can either try and set something up with a jack or something to be able to do it on my own. What my daughter normally does, she supports this end, so I can then hold it this end and I can sort of line it up on the hinges. Now the problem is, of course, we don't know if the hinges are going to be lined up, so it might be you make it even more difficult to get it on. So wing off, door off, hinges off, new door on. Well, once we got the hinges on and that all repaired down there as straight as I can get it, new door on, adjust it, and then the wing on. Hopefully it'll be plain sailing. Hopefully I can get it done in a day. Now the only other issue is this, where it's been pushed back, the door here is overlapping on the rear quarter. Now I can see there is a bit of a ding there. I don't know if it's done any more damage. There's sort of, I think it's gone in, it has done something there. Now I'm not going to be doing anything about that. My concern, and I'm not going to do it now because the reason the plastic there is because of rain, because there is a big gap, which I can't really show you, but there's a big gap there. Get your finger in there, see? So I don't want water getting in there. That's why I put that on there. My only concern is that door's not going to open. Hopefully it will. That is a complete door, so all the locks and everything are on there. So if that lock happened to be damaged, it doesn't matter. But as long as we can get that door open, we should be okay, hopefully. So that's the plan on Wednesday. So we will set you up. We will get this all done, a lot of this done on time lapse, but we'll come in and out as we're doing it and show you what we're doing. As I say, I have done that before. It was quite some time ago, but I do know exactly what I need to do to get it to work. And I hope I should get this done in a day, I think. It's a shame about the other damage, but she's quite clearly not worried about that. I can't believe she's not gone through the insurance and got the money from the insurance, because, you know, we could have done that and then spent a bit more time trying to do that, make that a little bit better. But of course, I'm not doing that. It's her first car. It'll just have to be like it. C'est la vie. So join me on Wednesday. We'll get stuck into this and hopefully we can make a reasonable job of it. So I'll see you on Wednesday. Right, first things first, let's get all this bubble wrap off and let's see if we can actually get the door open. That'll be a good start. Yes, well that was easy. Job and a half. I had to bend that back out because I couldn't get a spanner on it. Just there. I've got it off eventually. It took a little while. It took 5 minutes to get that off. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip this door down first. So I want to get the glass out because I want to keep the glass. So we need to wind the window down a bit so we can get to the clip, get it all dismantled, get everything off of this door before we take it off. It's just easier doing it before you take the actual door off. So I'll set you up on time lapse to do that, and I'll see you on the other side. Right, okay, so that was a job to get that off. As you see, I had to, as you saw, I should say, I got the jack out. That is well and truly mullered, isn't it? Absolutely mullered, and that's gone in quite a bit there. But we'll be able to do it, we'll be able to sort it. As I say, I've done it before. Yeah, it's, it depends on, once we get this off, we'll see how far the indentation is. The indentation probably sort of starts about here, but you can almost sort of see it. So we're going to need to get shims behind there. Once we've pushed it out as much as we can, as I say, we'll heat it up and whack it from the other side, and hopefully we can push it out some as well. Yeah, job and a half. Right, I think what we'll do now is we'll get it up in the air, get the wheel off, and then get this wing off, and then we can get stuck into that. So back on time lapse, see you on the other side. Right, okay, so I don't know if that bottom one's okay or not. It actually looks alright. I think it's probably alright. There's certainly no indentation there. I don't think that's bent that at all. It's just the top one. I mean, it's bent over, and obviously, as we know, it's pushed in. Right mess. So I need to get these bolts out, and then we need to get the panel off around the other side. And I think we can get the bottom one off just through an access hole. We just need to pull cables out of the way. But as I say, the top one, I'll show you when I get to it, but there's a metal plate there, which we need to use a step drill to drill through, which is what I did before. So we need to get the parcel tray off and this panel here as well. So we'll just do that. And then we'll get those bolts off first, and then we'll give it a go. There's your hinge. So if you come back here in line, you've got that black plastic piece there. See it? That black piece there. So that, I think that's plastic. It's quite hard plastic. I can't remember if I popped that out or drilled it. I can't remember. And then you've got this chunk of metal, and that is what you've got to drill a big hole in. That chunk of metal there. And you've got to try and get it in line, in the right place, so you can then feed through your socket, which I think is 30mm, same. Get that in there and undo it, and then hope it doesn't fall out. Probably wise to stick a bit of grease in there or something. I can't remember what I did before. There is actually grease already in there. Stick some grease in there so that what we don't want is the bolt falling, because it will end up down here. Yeah, I think that's what I did before. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's do it. Impossible for me to film. I can't. There's nowhere really for me to set the camera up, so I'll do what I can. I'll get the step drill out, and we'll get this off. So I'd say I think this one's gonna be all right. I don't think this one needs changing, which is I think is good, because I've only got a red one of those. Obviously, we won't know for certain until we get it on. If I have to change it, then we'll change it, but at the moment I don't think we do. Once we've got the door on, we might be able to figure out, you know, don't know. We'll do what we can. Right, so I will be back. Right, there we go. Took some doing. I think I probably went a bit too far to the front, but we're in there. So we just need to get the socket on the end, and then unbolt it. Whew, wow. I say, and then what we'll do is we'll use that, and we'll use the hammer and try and, once we've warmed this up. I tried to use my new Dongchen gel, which I did a review on recently, and it started to go through it, but it just didn't have enough oomph. I didn't put it on hammer action, but I used this cheap one from Argos or somewhere, which may have been on Hammer Action. Yeah, it was actually. So maybe if I'd put that on Hammer Action, it would have done it. But it took some doing with that. But we got there. I could smell burning. I think it was it's a cheap drill. It gets abused, but it did the trick. Right, so I'm gonna put a bit more grease on this because we don't want that bolt to come out. Either that or some tape in it. I might put some tape actually, because I want it to grip the bolt when it comes out. I don't want to drop that bolt. Right, so I've had a job and a half. Jesus H, what's it? So I thought I had hinges. What I actually had was the bottom hinge and a top hinge for the other side. So what I did, and I did lose that bolt as well, annoyingly. So what I've done is I've put the packers in. I made some packers. I'll tell you what I used. I used the cage for a Blue and Me unit. Luckily I got a spare one. And I put my shims in. I put the hinge back on. I put the top piece back in, an old top piece, so it didn't change the shape of the actual bit, the pin where it goes in, and heated it up with a heat gun and then whacked it with a hammer. Did that a few times. I've also moved it around. Could not get it on. I got my wife out here to help me. I mean, we both, the pair of us, really struggled. Could not do it. So I gave up on that. Used the trolley jack. Managed to get it onto the bottom one. And what I did is I took that one off completely, off of the door, and then managed to, supporting it on the back of the jack, managed to bend the hinge around and get it on there. Now, it wasn't shutting very well. Now, the gap is crap, but I did tell them the gap would probably be not good. And of course, it will save them from hinges and save me grief. So, but what I did is I used my little tool and we bent it upwards, and now it actually shuts and opens absolutely fine. So, look at that. So the gap is awful. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and see if I can move the hinges forward a little bit. I'm going to loosen the bolts and try and give them. I'm not going to take the door off. I am not taking the door off. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be able to do. How can I move that forward apart from without whacking it? Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tricky one. I don't want to take the door off again. It has damaged around the door. Here, it's damaged that, as we knew. Then we knew we got that as well. So that is really tight. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna try and improve it. Let's see if I can't move the hinges that way a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not. What I might do is try loosening these two and then hitting it and see if we can move it along. It's like, you know, if I could move that a millimetre, maybe two, I'd be happy. And it's more at the top than it is at the bottom, because of course that was the one. Don't forget that was overlapping before, and it's now shutting absolutely fine. So I'm going to keep going, see if I can improve on it. As it stands at the moment, we probably have a massive gap on the wing, which of course we can adjust to a degree, but it's easier to get to these hinges from this side, especially those bolts, because I loosen those. So I shut the door by pushing it up in the air, and then I loosen those, pushed it up in the air so it was in the right place, then tighten those both up again. So hopefully we can keep going, and I might still be on track. I was going to ring up Club 500 Italia and see if they could get me some hinges on next day delivery. But I think I'm going to keep persevering. I might be able to do it sufficiently. They're not expecting miracles, and you know, I want to get that gap better. But if I can't, I can't. Let's keep going. I'll be back. Right, we're nearly there now. I've had to reuse this. I've straightened this out as much as I can and hammered that back on. I had to do that because I've only got black ones off of like Sports and Pops and things. I didn't have a chrome one, so I'll tell her, you know, I could get her one if she wants to pay for it, or if she wants to wait until such time as I've just got a spare one. I do get them from time to time. Then I'll change it for her. But she may want to, but I don't think she will. You know, we got dents. It's just making making the car a little bit better. So gap isn't brilliant down there, but it's better than it was, and it opens and closes nicely. I've got to swap the door handle over from the old door onto this one. Put the door card back on, clean that off the mirror, and I think then we'll just give it a wash and we'll be done then. We'll give the wheels a clean as well because they're filthy, and that'll be it. Right, we're done, finished, all done in less than a day. So I was a bit panicky this morning because I didn't think I was going to be able to do this with these hinges, but I've managed to resurrect it. Gap's fine there, gap's too close there, but it's okay. So I've used the one that was already on here and bent it back, tapped it down a little bit. When I get one, I'll let her have one. Noticed that it did a brake light out as well, so I've changed the brake light for her. I've only hoovered the passenger side, and I've given it a good clean and sprayed some air freshener inside, and I blacked up the tyres as well. So yeah, all finished. So I think she will be very pleased, and I come in under budget at 525 quid. I said to her it's going to be about 600. Yeah, so on budget, or under budget I should say. So I don't really make a habit of doing these sorts of projects, you know, but I have been doing a lot more of them recently, I have to say, but I don't want to make a habit of doing them. It just so happens that I'll be pretty much car free on the driveway at the moment, apart from the one that's over at my sister-in-law's. So yeah, got another project coming tomorrow, which is going to be a really good one. Looking forward to it. So that's it from a very crashed Fiat 500 this morning to a nice repaired one today. Not repaired to the infinite as it should be. I would have put new hinges on it. I would have ordered new hinges and put new hinges on it if it was my car, but you know, she wanted it done cheap. I've done it on a budget. I've charged her 200 quid to do it, plus the parts, as I say, 525 in total. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, hit that button, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and until the next one, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.